I made the first million, blowing it, don't have discipline with money. Less than a year, I made the first million by September 2018. Less than a year later, I was working as a cashier in a gas station. If you do not have a repeatable McDonald's sales process, you don't have anything. Meaning, if you're not able to take Tommy tow truck from the middle of Indiana in a cornfield and turn him into making $10,000 to $15,000 a month, you're not good at teaching sales.
Well, what other advice do you have for them to blow up?
Where you don't understand how to blow up, you need to understand.
What is up, guys? We are live with Pena here. Pena, what's your first name?
Josue. It's Josue.
Josue Pena. He is from Miami, Florida, founder and CEO of Online CEOs. Pena, you made your first million how long ago?
2018.
2018, and you were working in a gas station, you said?
After that. So I lost everything.
Okay. Give us the quick story.
So sold a lot on Instagram, because what I do is I became very, very good at being able to grow and, most importantly, monetize Instagram in the right way. At least in my space, I was the first one. We have worked with everybody, like huge marketers like Alex Becker, to people that are starting from zero, and pretty much like everything in between. So what ended up happening in 2018 is I made the first million, blowing it, don't have discipline with money.
Classic.
You know how that goes. Not tracking anything. And then less than a year, I made the first million by September 2018. So I got the first two Comma Club award thingy. And then less than a year later, I was working as a cashier in a gas station. So
No way. Look at that humbling experience, huh?
yeah, it was tough. It was very tough. And what ended up happening is, long story short, it's number one, I got distracted, became a serial entrepreneur, one of those that has like 20 companies. And my focus went everywhere instead of focusing on what I was good at, which was sales and marketing on Instagram, and just honing in my like superpower. So that was like mistake number one. Mistake number two is I also got screwed a huge deal, a very, very big deal that was worth more than $1.2 million for the contract of the year. And I hired vendors and people counting on that coming through. And then last minute, it just turned sideways. And then I ended up with a huge bill. So, so that happened, and it was not fun. And then I ended up working at a gas station in August 2019. And I worked in the gas station until July 2020. So middle of the pandemic, I was also working at a gas station.
So make $1 million, lose it, and then go work at a gas station.
Yep, correct.
Dude. And then what was the comeback after that?
So July 2020, and mind you, like this time is like probably like the hardest time of my life, because you're the press, you've made it, now you lost it. Like your character and persona is attached to who you, like the success you had before, but now you don't have it. So it's like, it was tough, and nobody knew I was working at a gas station, or very few people knew. It wasn't like I was like publishing on Instagram, like,
right?
Oh, like look at me, like pumping gas on 20, So it wasn't that, but it was a very humbling experience. And then July 2020, I leave it, and then a month later, I ended up making $89,000. So what changed was my environment. There was a couple of friends who moved to Miami. They moved to a building called Porsche Design Tower. If nobody knows what that is, Google it. You'll see how crazy it is. It's like your car. You have two car elevators that park your car in your living room.
I've seen this place.
On the 30th floor. Like Maluma, Anuel, billionaires were my neighbors. So it was a crazy experience. But these were entrepreneurs and people that I became very good friends with because of the success that I've had on Instagram, because they were my clients. And then I just created very good friendships. And they said, hey, listen, like, I have an extra room. Why don't you come? But you're going to pay rent. So I'm like, okay. I got $15,000 saved up because of the gas station job. Throughout that year, I saved up. And rent was $5,000 a month. And utilities, everything was like $7K a month. Yeah, I got 2 months worth of living. And I'm like, you know what? Screw it. Might as well. Like $15,000 is not a lot of money anyways. So, I'm just going to go do it. And I'm glad I did, because it allowed me and it gave me the environments to then focus back on what I was really, really good at, which was sales and marketing on Instagram. And then first month we did it like $89,000 when I came back, and then it just kept growing and growing from there. So less than 6 months later, I made another $1 million, and then it just kept going from there. So yeah. So
there's a mix of luck, risk, and then environment, right? You had the risk was $5,000 a month in rent. Like, you're a smart guy.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm not going to throw my money away, but you knew the upside was worth it because of the network you're getting, the guys, the proximity.
Correct. Exactly. Exactly. And
What
just
what
the
about the
environment.
proximity?
Yeah, and just the
What about the?
environment. I mean,
Yeah,
like
go ahead.
think about it like this. Like I was waking up every day at 5:30 a.m. to go work, standing up for 9 hours a day, dealing with people that like are not the smartest people in the world. And then there was a rehab center right behind the gas station. So we will get
Yeah.
druggies and people in like barefoot and like underwear just walking into the gas station. I have to deal with these idiots too. So, and now I have to go clean the toilets and then like put gas in 20 and sell the lotto to this old grandma and then go put a thing on the refrigerator and also make sure that all the cashiers are not stealing money while everything is being, it was a
Dude.
mission. So, when I was like 3 p.m., you're done. Like your brain is fried. And then I was
Oh,
trying
yeah.
to build the business after that on top of that. And I was also studying because I had a student visa. So it was like, it was a lot.
That is a lot.
So yeah,
Humbling
but it taught
experience, dude. I
me,
love the story.
yeah, it taught me a lot of things. So when I changed the environment, I just got all that time back. Now I don't have to deal with the idiot from the rehab running around in underwear inside the gas station, you know?
I love that.
And
I
it
love
allowed
it.
me to focus on what I was really, really good at without any distractions whatsoever. And in an environment that's just, I mean, it's Porsche Design Tower. It's like, if you look at pictures, it's like the most insane building. So yeah.
It is. It is. I remember seeing videos, I think pre-construction, and I was blown away.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So tell us a couple things that you've like. You're a ClickFunnels award winner, right?
Yeah.
Double Comma Club, two Comma Club.
Right now I got like 3 here, and then I need to apply for like 3 more. But it's so right now we've done approximately almost $10 million in sales. We're almost hitting that mark. So yeah,
Love
that's like the big X is the next one that we're going for.
I love it. So tell the people like what are you selling on Instagram? Like what is your product?
So what we typically help people do is, let's say you have a fitness program or a service, or you're a plastic surgeon or a dentist, or I don't know, service provider that you're selling something high ticket that you can sell online, or courses or coaching, etc. Like a personal brand in general, an expert in a specific field. We can turn your Instagram account into a cash cow. So that's like, it's a combination between offer, content, sales process, and simple ads.
Okay.
So that's what the main thing that we do is. Now, because of that and what I've been able to build there, then I was able to partner up and bring in software. So up until this point, all we were using was ClickFunnels. Then Go High Level came about. And I'm like, okay, I'm like sending affiliate traffic, or I'm getting like a 30% commission or 40% commission on these guys, but I'm not building any equity. It's like, so I was able to partner up on a software called Drizio, which is an entire CRM platform that allows you to not only host the course, run all the traffic, use AI for specific, actions that the lead or prospect is doing. And it's a whole LMS or learning management system all into one, including a payment processor as well, which you end up paying less than in Stripe. So the person who actually built it from zero, his name is Anthony Powell. He's been in the industry for like 25 years, has sold like $2 billion, comes from like direct sales and multi-level in Herbalife. So he was personally mentored by Jim Rohn. So it's like, he's like a goat.
Yeah.
So I was able to, be partner up with him because of the success that I've had on Instagram. He saw him I'm like, hey, listen, like I can bring this software because my clients need it. Let's do this. So that was like the adjacent product that we have for these business owners. And then the last problem that we were having that we just fixed was that these business owners were like, hey, I don't have closers. Like eventually, like, great, Josue, you're spending $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 a month on traffic and ads is bringing in good ROI, but I do not have the time to talk to all these prospects and leads. I need somebody to close these sales. I'm like, great. It's like I was, again, sending them over to other companies to recruit, place, train closers, and all this stuff, and I was making a little tiny affiliate commission.
A fraction.
Correct. I'm like,
Eventually you got him in-house.
Exactly.
Nice.
And that's what I did. That's what we done. And on that side also, like I have Anthony. Anthony has, I don't even know, trained like thousands of people in sales, has created like 250 millionaires. And he's like, if you do not have a repeatable McDonald's sales process, you don't have anything. Meaning, if you're not able to take
Golden.
Tommy tow truck from the middle of Indiana in a cornfield and turn him into making $10,000 to $15,000 a month, you're not good at teaching sales. You need a
Yeah,
repeatable, simple sales process. So yeah.
yeah, that's the beauty is when you got a system down, that's how you know you are a phenomenal sales trainer is when you can take anybody and teach them the system, right?
Exactly.
You don't even need amazing people skills. You can teach them the basics, but then you teach them the psychology and the persuasion and the basic techniques and simplify it. I see a lot of issues within the sales industry, just go down this little rabbit hole with you, with just changing up, like having so many different approaches, so many different pitches, even within a same company. And it causes this chaos. And I think the excuse for a lot of salespeople saying, oh, well, he has that pitch because he says it this way, right? But when you streamline and everybody's saying the same thing, the top guy and the small guy, the process is the same. Yep. There's no more excuse, right?
Exactly.
So
that's. I mean, I've seen it because like right now everything's being built out, and the way Anthony creates the scripts and creates everything is actually like pretty freaking cool. Because like I've taken sales training and gone through all that stuff, but I've never seen the approach he takes, where it's like, no, Tommy tow truck needs to be able to sell.
Yeah.
And the way Tommy tow truck, yeah.
What's unique to his thing? Like what was his aha thing with you?
So, I mean, every single time I talk to the guy, it's just like, I talk with him every single day. It's like right before this call, I was just with him because we have daily meetings. But I mean, when you sold $2 billion in your career, and then at hundreds of millions, it's like a thing or two. So, and the main thing that I've realized on the sales side, at least, is that the process, like the way he does it, is he leverages a lot the brand itself. So in this case, it's us, right? The company.
Okay.
So that way, the person, it's just, hey, listen, I'm just selling you the ticket to the movie, right? You want to go see the movie. The movie is the main thing. The movie is the movie. I'm just selling you the ticket to see the movie. So that it's that approach where it's
like an unbiased opinion.
Correct. The heavy lifting is done by the company or the brand itself, and a lot of it is done through the marketing, obviously, and the name and the reputation, the testimonials, the proof, everything. And then the sales rep or the closer, his job is a lot easier. And obviously, they're saying the exact same thing all across the board, and there's no like just winging it, which is a lot of closers I feel like do it. I know I do it every now and then.
Dude, there's a big gap between sales and marketing, but there's a fine line at the same time. And it's exactly this, where the greater you are at marketing, the sale becomes easier.
Yep.
Right? If you master the marketing within an organization, your sales process can be almost automated. Right? Look at Tesla. Tesla's deploying AI to sell their cars now. Not most car companies can't do that, but because the brand is so strong, Elon's so strong, they can leverage that.
Yep. Correct. Exactly. So that's what I've learned. And we're testing now, inserting like ourselves in every conversation, pitching. And like, for example, and this is like, it sounds kind of weird because I've never seen anybody do it. It came from Anthony and how he sold Herbalife. So the way he did it was, let's say he was talking to you, you're the prospect over the phone, not over Zoom, because back in 2010, there was no Zoom.
It was just phone.
Yeah, on the phone. And then you're like, okay, Johnny, let me do a 3-way call with Anthony. He's going to explain the product, and we'll come back later on. Is that okay? Cool. Boom. And then play a recording of the actual, well, in this case, Anthony, or the like top closer or the owner, pitching the product itself. And at the end, then the closer jumps in again and say, which credit card you want to use.
Oh, genius.
So it's like,
That's
there's,
genius.
If you're a business owner, the best person to sell your product is you. It's like, you know it the best. You have the most confident in it. You created, like, everything. So imagine like if you're able to replicate yourself times 10,000 or 20,000 or whatever the number is, because you're pitching one-on-one, but at scale.
So it's recorded videos, and that's part of every sales pitch.
Yep. Correct.
So clever. And this was back, he was doing this back before Zoom, man. That's pioneer right there.
Yeah. He called them like, he was using like sales funnels before they were called sales funnels. He like called them like qualifying processes or something. I don't know. So
look at that. This guy sounds like the GOAT, man. We'll have to talk to this guy.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
He's pretty cool. I learned a lot every time I talk with him, and it was very funny how I met him through Instagram. It's like same thing. So
Same thing. The connections. Yeah.
yeah.
So what else? What else about like the sales process that has helped you guys just pump out the revenue? Training
So
salespeople, anything.
yeah. So what I would say is, obviously he's very, very good at sales. My expertise is Instagram and social media. Like that's what I'm like very, very good at, like selling through that,
Right.
like vertical, if you will. So what I realized is that a lot of people on the sales side, they try to sell, and their problem is like they don't have enough leads. It's like how to generate leads
Yeah.
to talk to. That's what I typically find. So a lot of it comes from content. And people think that you need to create like this super fancy equipment with the super fancy camera with super fancy. No, it's like you don't. Like you have your phone, and that's literally
Yeah.
all you need. And right now there's AI tools that will edit the video 100% for you in like 2 seconds. Put captions
Yeah.
on it, put everything on it for you, and done deal. And you have a video. And it takes you literally 30 to 60 seconds to record. So nobody has an excuse
For
anymore.
the new entrepreneurs, what AI systems do you recommend using to auto edit?
So CapCut is great. CapCut is a free tool actually created by TikTok, and they put auto captions and like they have a bunch of tools in it. I know my editor told me about a tool that I forgot the name that edits a full-length podcast in like 2 seconds or something and finds like the best kind of like clips and stuff. I don't know the name of it, but I'm sure if you Google it, you'll find it.
Yeah.
But right now, that I would say is like 30 to 60 seconds. Spend the time and create the content because it's going to serve you a lot. And then if you're creating the right type of stuff with the right messaging, all you really have to do is go to Instagram, post one video a day, and every single day just boost it with $10 for 10 days, $5 to $10 for 10 days, and see the traction the video gets. You don't have to depend anymore on organic. So yeah.
Oh, really? I heard the other way around the other day that if you start boosting your content, that it hurts your virality. Is that true?
No.
No.
I haven't found it to be true. At the end of the day, here's the thing. If I have to depend on the Instagram algorithm god to bless me with traffic, it's going to be a very tough battle, So I just prefer to pay a couple bucks, grow it. I can grow quicker. Leads can come in almost overnight. I can start closing sales very fast, and I do not have to depend on Mark Zuckerberg blessing my hand. So
I love the perspective, Pena. That's money, man.
yeah,
I love it.
So that's my opinion.
I love it. So your group is usually closing high ticket items, yes?
Correct. Yep.
What's like a strategy? I know you guys have simplified it. Like your sales sound like they're kind of a lay down because the marketing's so good, the branding is so good.
Yep.
You guys probably had to get to that point. Was there a point where it wasn't super strong, or was it always like that?
So I got into this entire world almost by mistake. So I would say for me, it was somewhat like this from the beginning, kind of.
Okay.
Because what I did, like I started business in general in 2016. So I just started posting content on Facebook, just providing value for free, not expecting anything in return, and just people start coming to me, just hitting me up. And then I started like learning a little bit more and more and more and more how to pitch, present offers, sales, etc. But the free content that I provided was so good that people had results with that they were loving it. And then the sales side became easy. So it was, but like to say for new clients that come in, obviously they don't have the brand to be able to leverage and just be a lay down sale for them.
Right.
So I've had to learn how to create like a solid brand in the shortest amount of time possible. And we have been able to like create very simple systems. Again, this thing, one piece of content a day. In 30 days, you'll be surprised. Like you'll have 500, 1,000 followers, no problem. And that is literally all you need to make 6 figures a month. Like believe it or not.
Look at that, guys. So, money, dropping bombs right here.
So, and I'll tell you,
Pena.
and I'll walk you through the steps. Like, cause we launched a new brand. It was in the Airbnb space. He had, zero, like literally zero. 60 days later, there was like $150,000 in cash collected, right? In 60 days from zero, right? And he had like maybe like 1,000 followers or 2,000 followers at the time. So, and what we did was just, again, one post per day, boosted content, and then just creating valuable piece of content for like 15 to 21 days, no pitch, right? Just warming up the audience, building it up, etc., and engaging to people that watch it, comment, etc. And then at the 21-day mark, then we started posting every other day a direct offer, right? Or at the end of every video, a direct, hey, if you want XYZ, comment below, or if you want XYZ, click link in bio, right? And what ended up happening is people just started coming in, like because they wanted the offer, and because we already had built somewhat of a solid foundation, then we were closing sales. And the price point on this thing was the highest level was 25K, and this lowest level was 6K. So we just needed like 13, 14 units, and that was it. So
bingo, hit it. What was this product?
it was Airbnb coaching program and an Airbnb done for you.
Nice.
So yeah,
that's money. Okay, how do you recommend for the audience here, Pena? How do you recommend they find their niche? You know, how'd you find yours getting into it? How'd you like decide I'm going to be a master marketer on Instagram?
So if you're debating yourself, what is my niche? Ignore that question altogether. If you're debating yourself, like, how can I help people? What problem can I solve? Ignore that question altogether, because it simply means that you're not good enough, or you're not an expert enough in a specific field, maybe, to be able to help people in that thing, right?
Okay.
Like, for example, if you're great at fitness, and like I can help people be fit, then you're an expert in fitness. Like you just know, right? But if you're debating, oh, am I an expert in fitness? Am I not? Like, probably you're not.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but if that's the case, it's perfectly fine. Like, just, it doesn't matter. Like, just become a closer. Like, just, you can close deals and leverage somebody else's company and make a ton of money in the process. Like, you don't have to build your own company from zero to be able to do that. In fact, if I had to start all over from zero, I wouldn't have done it the way I did it. It was a heck of a lot harder.
Okay. How did you? So let's talk about how you did it and what you would do.
Yeah. So how I did it was, again, it was my mistake. My goal was to become a professional soccer player in Dominican Republic. That's where I grew up and where I was born and raised. And nobody's going to find me over there for soccer. They know baseball. So I'm like, I'm going to grow my social media to become a pro. That was my idea. And that was 2013. It's been 10 years. It's been a long time. But it ended up working in 2016. I actually get the chance to be a pro through an agency that was using players to display them, put them on professional teams, etc. That was back then. But then I decided to say no to the opportunity of playing pro, because I saw the life of a pro here in the States. It's not the most glamorous thing. And then I just went all in into what I was doing, which was growing Instagram pages. I was good at marketing and growing Instagram pages. And then this guy, my first paying client, I remember, his name was Tim. He's like the owner of an insurance company. And he wanted to grow his Instagram. And he told me, hey, how much do you charge? I'm like, mind you, I don't know anything about sales. It was September 13th, 2016. To this day, I still remember it. And I'm like, okay, the highest number I could possibly think of was $3,500 a month for consulting. Okay. I'm like, $3,500. He's like, done. I'm like, fuck, I should have charged more. So, that was the first, paying client. It was just helping him grow his Instagram account. But at the time, I was reading .com Secrets, Expert Secrets. Expert Secrets hasn't come out. .com Secrets from Russell Brunson. I was learning how to create webinars. I was learning how to do sales presentations. I was like learning all these different things as I was going and using my skill on Instagram that I built over the past 3, 4, or 5 years by that point, right? And then the following year, Expert Secrets come out. I fly over to Boise, Idaho. I meet Russell Brunson, Penjun, like all the big like ClickFunnels people. I meet them at that event, and then I introduce myself. Like, hey, it was, let's just say Brandon Pullen. Hey, Brandon and Kaylin, I love what you guys are doing. I love Lady Boss. I love the brand. You guys are crushing it. I do Instagram marketing, and I will be more than happy to help you completely for free. That was my pitch.
Nice.
Like, that was my pitch. Because, I mean, like, these guys are making $10 million a year. What do they need some random Dominican kid? They don't. Right? So, like, I'm like, hey, I'm more than happy to help you for free. And I did. And it crushed. And then they introduced me to Hermosi. And he became a client too. And then I used Lady Boss testimonial to get Alex Becker as a client. And then I used Alex Becker testimonial to get, and then it just snowballed from there and compounded. And that's how in 2018, I was able to just, like, grow very, very quickly.
Look at that. So so your strategy there was get in for free, go prove the concept, and just hustle, get your way in, and you did it.
Exactly. And obviously at the time, like, I didn't have the testimonials I have today. I didn't have the proof. So I'm like, hey, listen, you already have a sales process that works. You just need more traffic. I can provide you that traffic through Instagram, right?
Nice.
If it converts, in my head, it's like, if you're selling and if it's converting well, the chance of me just pushing more traffic to it and it working, it's going to be very high. And that's what I did. And it did work. So, and then the funny part is that as I was doing that, I was seeing their sales process and learning how they were doing things from the inside out. right? Which is why
Yeah.
I'm like able to have a very good perspective today, where it's like I can launch a brand and pretty quickly have it very, very profitable as long as the right things are in place. And it's because I now know what works in certain industries or how to position things correctly or
Yeah.
whatever, you know? So that's what I did. So that's how I started and how things grew pretty quickly. So
Dude, that is money. I love the story. That's great principle there. So a
indeed.
lot of the audience for just marketers, early entrepreneurs, salespeople, a lot of them are struggling to just hit their first million. What is your advice to those people?
Depends on your level. Like depends on the level that you're at. So one of my mentors, his name is Alex Sharfin, told me the biggest or one of the biggest problems that entrepreneurs have, and especially visionary entrepreneurs, is like they put such an obnoxious goal in front of them that they have no idea how they're going to get there. And then
Yeah.
what happens is subconsciously, because you don't hit it, then you self-sabotage and you
Yep.
never hit dopamine effects. So like you don't feel momentum at all. So
Yeah.
it's like,
Zero.
exactly. So he said it's like the easiest way to feel like you're making progress is put the goal closer. Like if you're going to learn how to shoot a gun, you go to the shooting range. They don't put the thing 2 miles away. No, they put it right in front of you. Like shoot it in the middle, boom, and then they put it a little bit farther away, shoot it, boom, and then so on and so forth. So same thing in business. It's like let's just say your first goal should be $100,000 a year. Perfect. That's
Yeah. Not a million. Not a million.
not a million.
Right.
Not a million. Yep. That's like $8,300 a month. That's like relatively doable, right? Now from there,
Mm-hmm.
like multiply that by 2 or by 1.5, and then do that again, and then do it again, and do it again.
Yep.
But here's the thing: is that goal can change month to month. It doesn't have to wait a whole year, right? But just like okay, this month the goal is this amount, which is a run rate of this amount. Perfect. But then let's just say you crush that goal. Next month, okay, let's up it to one. Like let's multiply that 1.5 instead of 8K a month. Let's go to 10 or 12. Okay, perfect, and so on and so forth. So
Yep.
that's what I'd see is the easiest path to getting there. Now, in terms of like tactical, what
Yeah.
I see is like if you have one appointment a day, right? Just one appointment a day for a product that's at least $3,000, you're probably going to end up making that month around 20,000. That's a simple math.
Look at that.
So
There it is.
now, if you increase it now, if you want to get 1 million a year is like around $83,000 a month ish, more or less. Now,
Yep.
that number.
So you just rework the numbers right from there, right?
Correct, exactly.
You get 2 appointments a day, you're looking at 40K.
Correct. And now, like, typically it's like 4 appointments a day. With 4 appointments a day, you're looking anywhere from $70,000 to $100,000 a month in sales. That's over $1 million a year, right?
Bingo.
So that's the number that you have to hit no matter what. So that's like the thing that
Yeah.
you're aiming for. So if you have to outbound, manually DM people, like hit up every single option, whatever it is, until you hit those numbers every single day, nothing else matters. And that's the only
Yeah.
North Star metric that you need to set every day. So in my case,
Yes.
for example,
Amen. Yep.
yeah,
Go
in my
ahead.
case, for example, every day in the company, we review, okay, how many appointments did we have yesterday? This amount. No. Why didn't we have so low? Okay, what do we need to do
Yes.
today to fix that? We need to hit the
Bingo.
KPIs for the week, etc. If we hit the numbers, we're like, great. What did we do yesterday that allowed us to get those numbers? And so on and so
Yeah.
forth. And I also see that, let's just say with booked appointments, there's typically a 2 to 3 day delay. What I mean by this is like there's a lag indicator between when you perform the action and when you actually get the results. It's like fitness. You go to the gym, you bench press, abs, whatever. You don't have abs the next day. You got to do that consistently for 90 days to 6 months to have results. Same thing here. In this case, it's just 3 days. So if you're posting content, 1 post a day, 30 to 60 seconds every day, boosting it like we said, etc., like doing the right things every day, it typically takes about 3 days after you build a solid foundation to start seeing some results. Meaning you do the right things today, you're not going to have booked appointments for tomorrow. It's going to be today's Monday. It's probably going to be for Thursday or Wednesday.
Yep.
Right. But that compounds as long as you do the right things every single day. So
Money.
That's
I love
what I
that.
would say.
Dude, this big thing that we focus on with our sales training is focus on the input, right? Not the output. So the controllables of volume and prospecting. So many people focus on the appointments and closing better. All sales training, Pena, is geared towards improving close rate.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't change the fact that you have 1 appointment a day.
Yep.
You could be the best salesperson on the planet. If you've 1 appointment a day, you're not going to make more than 30K a month, period. Right?
Yep. Exactly.
So there's this book I just read about on prospecting. It's called Aaron Ross, predictable revenue. He helped build Salesforce. Okay, he calls this method cold calling 2.0. And it's basically how Salesforce has built a multi-billion-dollar company has been from sending out DMs. And the whole focus is breaking down their process of DMing and creating leads. It used to be cold calling, right, on the phones and emails. Now I feel like cold calling 2.0 or 3.0 is DMing. For you, Pena, what has been the most successful form of, I guess you'd say, prospecting or cold calling 2.0?
So we have a very interesting approach to that because the brand and the content that we have is so powerful that it has like a gravitational
Organic.
pull. Yeah, it has a very strong gravitational pull. But what we do on the outbound side is every day typically I have like a group chat between myself and several closers and setters. And then whenever I see because I'm scrolling on Instagram too, seeing ads, documenting, research, whatever. Whenever I see a profile or something that I like, I send that in the group chat and then they go and DM me, like outbound. So,
nice.
And that's like every single day. So every single day, every single person needs to have at the very minimum anywhere from 80 to 100 conversations per day. And that could include previous combos, like follow-ups, or it could include outbound, right? So it could be either or. But they need to have every single day 80 to 100 combos per day, no matter what. And what I see, if they do that, then you're booking anywhere from 4 to 5 to 6 appointments a day at a minimum, right?
Okay.
So, if
So it's about a 5% conversion. That sounds right. Yeah. Look at that. So you realize, hey, look, most people are doing 20 to 30 conversations a day. You're saying, hey, we do 80 conversations a day.
Yeah.
So I love that, man.
And it's not hard. It's like, that's the thing. It's like, oh my God, like, I'm not going to like, bro, like, are you seriously complaining about like chatting? You're texting anyways.
Yes.
You're texting, you're using your phone anyways. You're wasting your time. It's like, you're complaining about doing the thing that you are already doing. It just takes a little bit of mental fortitude.
Yeah. So for the early entrepreneurs just starting out on Instagram, what about worry about shadow ban of doing too much volume on Instagram with messages?
If you're thinking, like, okay, let me say this. If you post something and you have less than 100 comments, you don't have nothing to worry about. Okay? Like, that's it. It will be, that's like 99% of people in the first place.
Yeah.
So now, there's obviously some clients and people that I work with that they post something, they get 500 comments, 1,000 comments, which is just insane. And that becomes an issue. So the way we solve that is automations. There's tools like ManyChat that can help automate a lot of it. But the reality is that even those things break at scale. Like when you're doing 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 combos per day, that thing will break. So what we typically find is just better to send them to the link in bio. That's it.
Nice.
So in the link in bio, they opt in, name, email, phone number, goes to your CRM, and that does not break. So yeah.
Okay. So most of your guys' conversations, are they through the like Instagram, or do you guys send them to your own page?
I would say 50-50.
50-50. Okay, cool. Yeah. Nice.
But like that's for me. Like some of the clients, we only do link in bio. Other clients, we only do Instagram DMs. It depends on the volume that you're currently bringing in.
Okay. And then when they click the link in bio, where does it usually take them?
Opt-in page. Name,
where?
email, phone number.
Yep.
That's it.
Click funnels.
Correct. Exactly.
Hey, by the way, dude, I'm going to be out there for the next Funnel Hacking Live event end of September. So if you're in Miami, we'll have to connect.
Yeah, for sure. I have to double check because I think that is my birthday is September 27th, and I don't know what I'm going to do yet.
It's right then.
So we'll have to see. But yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I love it, man. Maybe at the end of it or early on.
Cool.
We'll be there from the 25th till about the 1st of October. So.
Okay. Cool.
Anyways, okay. What with sales? Just I want to break down your mindset on sales and marketing. Obviously you favor marketing. I think we both do, and that's coming from a sales guy. Okay.
Yeah.
What is the difference to you, and what's important for people to know, especially early on in understanding these two aspects of business, sales and marketing?
So the way I would say it is marketing is, let's just put an example on dating, right? Marketing is you dressing well, being fit, haircut, smelling well, and going up, presenting yourself confident and going up to the girl to talk, right? Sales is you actually closing the deal. You can be the greatest, marketer of all time, but if you do not know how to push the ball forward and go from 0 to 1, you're not going to make money, right?
Right.
Now, great marketing helps you, because if you look
It
like
just
a
makes it
bum,
so easy.
yeah, if you look like a bum, like going back to dating, if you look like a bum, smell bad, look homeless, like super baggy clothes that don't fit you well, etc., you're never gonna get, the girl you want. But on the flip
Yeah.
side, if you do, dress correctly, etc., the chance of you actually getting her is a lot higher. Not saying it's like guaranteed, but it's a lot higher because you need the clothes. So that's what I
Right.
would say.
Well, even in sales alone, just paraverbal and nonverbal communication is over 90% of what's being,
Yep.
communicated, and just 10% is verbal, and what you say to actually convince them. So appearance is very similar to the marketing side, or how you appear is just going to make your sales process that much easier.
Correct.
So what is your advice for people wanting to ramp up the marketing? You are obviously recommending go hard on social media. What specific strategies can entrepreneurs, people working as sales reps for companies, people working part-time jobs, what is your advice? You mentioned post, once a day, post consistently, focus on your thing. It should be something you're naturally good at, passionate about. But what other advice do you have for them to blow up?
So, I mean, I can talk all about like growth hacking techniques and shout outs and like these little, gimmicks, if you will, which work. I mean,
Yeah.
today I co-own one of the biggest art pages in the world. It's called Daily Art. It has 9 million followers. And like that, I have like, I don't know, dozens of accounts. But even though I could do that, the thing is that for you to understand how to blow up, you need to understand content very well. Because like the how to blow up, or like something that goes viral. And the easiest way to do that is just typically look at the competitors or look at the biggest accounts in your space and just scroll through their feed, see the videos that have above average engagement, and just replicate the ones that have above average.
Reverse engineer it. Yeah, see what they're saying.
Exactly.
How do you focus a lot on the hooks?
Yeah, the 3 to 5 seconds at the beginning of the video is by far the most important thing. But then you have to follow up and deliver on the rest of the video. So if your hook is very strong, people will stay and they will drop off because the rest of the video is boring. So like the hooks and the pacing of the video, lighting, framing, audio, everything regarding video creation is extremely important. What I would say.
Okay, so for somebody that has no social media experience and wants nothing to do with social media, and let's say they're making 20, 30,000 a month selling, they're kind of content, but they're still wanting to make more. What would you advise that person? And let's say that it's not very clear on what kind of content they want to do.
Okay,
they could sell. Yeah.
What industry are they in?
Let's just say door-to-door sales, for example.
Okay, like solar, for example?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Perfect. All right. So what I would do is just document what you're doing. Just like you're making 20, 30K a month, dude, like you should be posting that on social media and showing proof. Like, that's number one, right? Solar companies, I'm sure there's affiliate referrals for closers. There's multi-level. There's a lot of things that you can do to bring recruits in and develop your own organization, right?
Right.
So it's like, yes, you're making 20 to 30K a month. Great. Post that on social. Post that what you're doing every day. Show consistency. People believe consistency. If you're showing up every day, even on 15 seconds on Instagram stories, and you're documenting what you're doing to hit those 20, 30K per month, people are naturally going to start hitting you up. They're going to be like, how are you making 20K a month doing door-to-door selling solar? I am a banker and I'm making $5,000 a month and I hate this. At least you're making 20K a month, even though you're doing door-to-door. It's hard, but you're still making 20K a month. It's like, I want to make more money. Like, how do I do that? And then you're able to help people in that way because you have an actual scale and you have documented and show proof that it is the case. I have a kid right now that he's 19. He's still in college. He's making like 12 G's a month being a setter in a triage. Like he just sets up, he's not even a closer. He sets up appointment for a closer, right? Via phone and DMs. And he's making $12,000 a month.
Dude, it's crazy. No sales skills. Just set the appointments.
Setting appointments. $12,000 a month this kid is making. He's in college, okay? And he's making more than a freaking, like his own teacher, which is funny. And he's just in college just to party, which I don't know. It's like, I don't know.
It's like, live your life, bro.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, like you can party without having to go to college and without having to pay $200,000 a year. But okay, that you do you. But he's doing that. And he's like, okay, like what should I do? I'm like, document it. It's like, show what you're doing. Why? Because what's going to happen is probably your company or whatever, you can probably teach other people exactly what you're doing. Probably the company that you're working for will probably love to have more solid trained setters to join their organization.
Absolutely. That's where it goes, Pena, is recruiting. Anybody in sales, most organizations that are well built have a form of recruiting and compensation and override. And that's where most people want to be because it frees up their time of having to close deals. It invites them into leadership.
Yep.
It's a win-win, right?
Correct. Exactly.
Dude, we got a guy who's doing 40 to 50,000 a month consistently, not closing, just setting appointments. Now it's face to face, and the con is he's knocking doors. But yes, it's a lot of people have no idea that that's even possible.
Correct. Exactly. That's the thing. Is like you're opening the mind to other people to see what is possible. Right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if you're a closer or a sales rep or a setter for whatever, like for another company. That's perfectly fine. Recruit. And you're going to make an override commission on what they perform because you were the one who brought them in. So it's a win-win. And you can just build your personal brand around that. And then if you want to build your own thing later on, dude, perfectly fine. I know closers, like, I don't know if you know who Cole Gordon is. He started.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So Cole, good friend of mine. On Instagram, also a client. I became one of his clients too on the B2B side that he has as well. But in 2019, when he left Traffic and Funnels, I actually met him here in Miami, and he built his personal brand from Traffic and Funnels because people knew him. He was one of the top closers from there. And when he launched his own thing, it blew up overnight. So it's like
interesting.
It's one of those things. It never hurts ever to grow your personal brand at all and show what you're doing and show your proof, show expertise in a specific subject, whatever it is that you're doing in work, like whatever it is, document it and show that. It never.
Dude, I wonder if this is the future of the successful company. So I was part of the fastest and now the largest growing, largest pest control company in America. And it wasn't from having a good service. It wasn't from, clever, it was all marketing and sales door to door, right? And they mastered that side. I'm wondering what the future of sales looks like if you have all these companies basically turning these reps into these little celebrities on, social mini influencers online. Do you think that's something they can do at scale?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You think companies can deploy systems to basically train their people to post their content, post their top rainmakers, get them producing content, have training programs around it?
Yeah. We're doing that right now. So one of my, like in Spanish, for example, one of my guys in Paraguay, like mind you, South America, he's crushing over there, like making like $7,000 a month. And in Paraguay, that might just be like 100,000, right?
Yeah, he's a king out there.
Yeah. He's like an emperor. And he's just documenting and doing the exact same, like he's replicating me, right? In there. So I think it's going to be great. The companies that realize that will crush it. Just to go back to Cole Gordon, he's duplicating himself right now. I think that the one guy doing that is like Aaron. He's one of his partners in the company. He's with his prototype, he's building it up and driving traffic. So like if you're able to replicate yourself like horizontally and drive traffic to the same system, then you'll make a lot more money.
Pena, this is gold, dude. So for people worried about like flexing on how much they're making or becoming off arrogant or cocky, what's your advice to them?
Suck it up.
Suck it up.
Okay. So the reality is this: like, I come from the Dominican Republic, came from nothing. Like at the beginning, people made fun of me. They laughed. They're like, "Oh, like back then, my brand was like called JP Destro." They're like, "Oh, JP Destro, this and that." I'm like, whatever. I'm like, whatever, dude. Like, it doesn't matter. I don't care. And it took me years, mind you. Like 10 years ago, this was not cool. Like this thing that we're living today, it was not cool at all. So if they criticize you or whatever, it's like, who cares? Ask yourself.
Yeah.
Are they living the life that you want to live? Do they have the things that you want to have? If the answer is no, then don't listen to them. Like as simple as that. You like they say, "Oh, you're doing this and that." And you're like,
cool, dude.
Good for you, bro. It's like, thank you so much for your feedback that I never asked for. So
Chris Crone's one of my big mentors, and he was mentored by Tony Robbins, and Chris is worth about $500 million right now at 43 years old. And dude, this is one thing he drilled in me is he's like, you cannot care 1 ounce about what people think. Mm-hmm. And it takes time to develop that discipline. And I think that's a good thing about sales too, is you get so much rejection, it forces you to discipline your mind, callous your mind, and not care what people think, And it's the question, if you can take that to the next level, becoming an entrepreneur, investor, a business owner, and still not care, Indeed. You care about what your customers think, but what the haters say.
Right, exactly. It's like,
it doesn't faze you.
And here's something funny is like because you deal with so much rejection on sales, sometimes every now and then I'll get, let's just say I talked to somebody, I don't know, a year ago, and they said no. And then they come back a month and like, oh yeah, you remember I said no? I'm like, no, I don't. It's like, like, who are you
You're
again?
like, don't even remember, dude.
I
Didn't even
really
phase me.
don't. It's like, and it's not, I don't want to be offensive and like, I'm not being a
Yeah,
dick. I genuinely don't remember.
don't remember.
So
No.
it's, and because when you're focused on the daily discipline, this making sure that you do the right things every single day, regardless of how you feel and regardless of what people tell you and regardless of their opinion, and you focus on
Yeah.
that, the outcome will come anyways. And you're going to
Bingo.
be surprised with the outcome just because you're focusing on what, like you said, on the inputs, like, and you just
Yep.
ignore everybody else.
Dude, I talk about these two different principles with goals and expectations, right? If your goal is up here, make a million, or sorry, let's say your goal is to make, $500,000, but the expectation is that you should be hitting that as well, but you're on pace to do, let's say, $300,000. You're not going to actually hit that goal. You're going to have the opposite happen to you, where you get down on yourself, you start beating yourself up, right? So what I've noticed is you can set the goal high, but set the expectations realistic, as you were mentioning. Like, don't just set a goal to make a million. If you're making 100K, dude, set a goal to hit 200K first. Once you hit that, then maybe double that. Do what's realistic. Otherwise, your brain's going to work against you, and the goal's going to work against you and not for you.
Exactly.
So, like, I had people shadow me, and they're like, hey, dude, you're making 100K a month plus doing what you're doing. Like, I'm going to set a goal to do, 70K. If you do 100K, I'm going to do 70. I'm like, no, don't do that, because you're going to quit after a second week.
Yeah.
So what helped me as a sales trainer was actually saying, hey, the realistic number for these guys was about 15,000 a month. I would get them set on 5,000. And then what happened, Pena, is they hit 10,000 and then they're on fire. They got momentum. They end up doing 20,000, sometimes 30,000 a month, right?
Exactly.
So it's all expectations.
100%. And unhappiness and ungratefulness is when reality does not, it's below their expectation. If your expectation is up here, down here, and your reality is up here, you're always going to be ecstatic and you're always going to be grateful in anything in life, not just in business.
That's amazing, dude. I think that's the great thing of coming from humble background. I think that's why so many successful people come from it. It's because they don't forget the pain and they keep the humility there,
Yeah.
And so,
in my case, I also had to be reminded in the middle of the journey by working at a gas station.
I've had that too, man. I've been
Yeah.
divorced, lost everything. And
Jeez.
so, yeah, I've been there. The pain can work for you or work against you. And it's all your perspective,
Correct. Exactly.
So
that is 100% true. And winners win. It's like, oh my God, like you could have been like, oh my God, I got divorced, I lost everything.
Yeah. Yep.
And?
Pity party,
Yeah. And like,
Yep.
it's like,
And
yeah, and it's like,
Yeah.
are you gonna just like
Exactly.
sit and just be complaining the rest of your life, or are you gonna do something
Exactly.
about it? It's why I'm like,
Exactly.
oh my God, I lost $1 million. Now I'm working at a gas station, this and that. I'm like, I could have just stay there. Like, but
Yeah.
are you gonna like
And?
bitch and complain like for the rest of your eternity, and while you hate that job, or are you gonna do something about it? So,
Dude, it comes down to extreme ownership, I think, of just, reflecting inward and stop blaming. I feel like that is the thing that impedes people from any great success is they can't stop blaming. They point the finger at the boss, the manager, my pay plan's too low. I don't have enough leads. I don't like what whatever it is.
Yep.
You are in control. Like, it's all on you. Your comp plan sucks, your fault. The product you sell sucks, that's your fault. Even if you didn't invent the product, your fault. Nobody forced you to go sell that product. So anyways, on this note, I'm a big fan, Pena, of selling what you believe in. And I think so many people get into sales because of what we were talking about, where they're like, hey, dude, you're making 20 to 50K a month. I want some of that. Like, that looks like it's easy for you, and they get into it for the money and then end up not doing well because they weren't really sold before they tried to sell other people. And so that's been a big mission of mine, is changing that paradigm in the sales world, still attracting people with that, right? There's no problem of having that monetary ambition, right? To have financial freedom. But the reality is anything in sales and business, if you study Jeff Bezos and these guys, Sam Walton, they were obsessed about their customers, not about themselves and their pockets. The irony is their pockets got very fat. And so that's been a big thing for me, is, really driving in the customer experience and getting people sold on that before they're selling other people.
Yeah.
Do you have any sort of process or experience with this, with like how you've seen salespeople being trained?
So what I would say is, since I'm like, I started as an entrepreneur, like building like actual products and services and stuff like that. To
Yeah.
expand on that, it's like the best product and the best product with the best marketing and sales system is going to win. Like at the beginning, to hit a million, for example, you can hit a million with that shitty product and shitty service, no problem.
Yeah.
But eventually, the house of cards is going to crumble down. Eventually.
Yep.
And then no amount of marketing, or the marketing is going to be 10 times harder because you have the shitty and product and service, right?
Yep.
So it's like you need to be able, and it's a balance, because if you're an entrepreneur like building something from zero, you need to be able to sell and market while at the same time building a great product and service.
Yep.
And be able to do both at the same time. So it's tough. Now,
Yeah.
if you're a sales rep, you need to make sure that you're selling something, like you said, that you believe in, and that's actually good, because like the last thing you want to do is be Wolf of Wall Street, like
Jordan Belfort. No.
yeah, it's like you're selling a shitty product, you know about it, and you're still doing it. It's
You're still
like
doing
I
it.
don't know how you can
Yeah.
sleep at night like that. So
Yeah. Yep.
and make the greatest thing in the world is making a lot of money while making a great impact, because then your
Yep.
customers refer you more people, and then your book of business grows. So that's like ideally what you want, is be able to sell a great product and a great service that people actually have results, whatever it is, that actually solves a problem, and that you as a closer, as a sales rep, as an entrepreneur, feel proud to do this, and that you can sell that to your mom. If you cannot sell
Yes.
the thing that you're selling to your mom, you should not be selling it, period.
Bingo, dude. This perspective has helped me. I served a 2-year mission for a church, and I wasn't making any money, but I learned how to truly sell. And when your desire is to actually serve people, it comes organically and become very influential. And so I always say the first sale is yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And expounding on that, the more you can help, the more people you help get what they want, Pena, the more you're going to get what you want.
Right, exactly. It's I think it was Hormozy who said this. It was like, people are selfish always, and if you're able to align your own desires with them, you're always going to succeed. It's
Money.
So it's a great, it's that is the truth, So, and
Yeah,
what I've
that is.
also come to realize throughout this journey is that not only the best product wins, but the perception of the best product is the one who wins too. So and it's different, right? The
Yeah,
perception.
expound on that.
Exactly. So, like, let me give an example. Right now, for example, the programs and courses that I've had in the past, they're great. I mean, I have people who were bartenders 3 years ago. Today, they're multimillionaires. It's like the success stories I have, it's just stupid, right? But when you log in and consume the product itself, it's a Google document that I'm going over Loom, right? And then expanding on it, and that's it, right? There is no fancy whatever. Now, if you want to go from here to the next level, and this is like something like Anthony has ingrained on me and like drilled, it's like the perception matters as well, right?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
if your product, let's just say is same level, they're both great products, there's 2 different products, the one that's going to win is the perceived one that's higher.
Yep.
Right? They could be the same. Heck, this one
Yep.
can even be a little bit lower, right? But
But if it's perceived as more,
correct, it's always
That's
going to
branding.
win. And then, this helps on the marketing side, because then the perceived side on the marketing increases. And when you're selling, your positioning, which is the most important thing on the sale, like you need to have a very big gap in terms of positioning to close the sale. The positioning on the sales side is also huge. So you have all the leverage just because of the perceived value itself.
Correct.
That people
Correct.
see when they see the brand or product or service.
So how do salespeople, marketers, entrepreneurs, intrapreneurs, how do they increase perceived value of their product? Let's say it's solar. It's a red ocean, right? Very saturated industry. It's insane.
You'll be
How
surprised.
can we make?
There's markets that is not. Well, I'll tell you one, New Jersey. Like,
Yeah,
I'm actually
there we go.
looking
Guys,
I'm actually looking for a solar company right now that we can help, that can do something in New Jersey, because my dad put solar in his river. Like, bro, like nobody here has any of this stuff in the Latin community, at least, in New Jersey.
It's
So
crazy. Look at that.
Yeah, but anyway,
somebody launch it in New Jersey. Somebody's going to launch it right after this podcast.
Yeah, probably. Hey, if you do, please hit me up. Like, that's all I ask. Like, DM me on Instagram. Yeah, I saw this podcast. I'm launching solar in New Jersey, and let's make money together.
I love it, Pena. Okay, yeah. So what were we asking you? What were we hitting on there?
Perceived value in solar.
Yeah. How can we increase it? Yeah.
So I'm not too familiar with the solar industry, so I can't speak fully on it. But what I would say
Yeah,
is
give us
this.
another product.
Yeah. So what I would say is this: your first impression matters. Like you never have a second chance of making a first impression. So right here, for example, this podcast, this is from like Suit Supply, right? So like I have started changing my entire wardrobe simply because I need to look the part. Right now on my Instagram, instead of like wearing like whatever I was wearing before, I'm like trying like a little blazer or a little nice polo or it's there is no difference in terms of like price point. Like you don't have to go spend a bunch of money. It's like you can go
Right.
to Zara or like Suit Supply, which is like very affordable, but it still looks great, feels great, and it fits you well. So you never have a second first impression to make on a prospect or on a person. So that's why I would say like number one is how you present yourself, like how people feel you. And again, it goes back to the
Yeah.
dating thing. It's like if your energy's off, you smell horrible, you don't have your hair is not combed or whatever, you're not dressed properly. It's simply not going to work.
Yeah, you get two people pitching the same product, but one is better groomed, they're talking more confidently. The perception behind that product is completely different.
100%.
Right?
It might be the same exact thing. So
Yeah.
that's what I would say. And then on the other side is more like for the entrepreneur who's actually in control of the brand or the company itself. So design wise, like when you're driving tons and tons of traffic online, every little minuscule thing matters. And again, I've learned this from Anthony myself. Like he told me his biggest bill for advertising in a month was $25 million.
Yeah, but how much did he make from that?
Correct, exactly. But what I'm saying is like every little tiny tweak, headline, button, design, etc. on the perception side matters because it skew things 1 point, 2 points, 3 points or more. And when you're talking about big volume, that could also mean you make a heck of a lot more sales or you lose a lot of money, right? So, and it goes back to the perception of how it's communicated or how it's perceived, right? How the person feels. It's a very intangible thing that it's like kind of hard for me to even explain, but because up until this point I haven't
dude.
heard.
Yeah.
Up until this point, it was like,
Dude,
listen, I got a bunch of testimonials. You want it? Yes or no? I can help you. Let's just move forward. If you don't, all right, peace out. You're going to come back in 5 months anyways, trying to come back to me, and you're going to be in a worse situation at that point, and you're going to want to do it anyway. So might as well just save your time and my time, so let's just do it. That was like my approach, which worked, right?
like it.
But like to go to the next level and like grow, it has to be tweaked.
It has to. Yeah. I love that, man. Well, this is straight gold, Pena. So grateful for your time. How can the people follow you, check you out on Instagram, YouTube?
Yeah. So
where do they go?
Just search my name, Josue Pena, or Digital Entrepreneur on YouTube, and you'll see my YouTube channel on Instagram as well. And then if you want to see like how we're selling on Instagram specifically, and like how we're using Instagram to leverage it to make more sales, either you're an entrepreneur or closer, I don't know, whatever it is that you're selling, you want to use social and Instagram to grow that and sell more, then just go to digitalcloser.net. And that's it.
Love it. Love it. Guys, check him out. Thank you so much, Pena. You are the man.
I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. It's always an honor when I'm invited in this stuff. So thank you.
Love it. Thank you.